So a lot of people have been asking me, Mr. Docket, where can I get these Disney 100 special edition releases of Lightning McQueen, Mater, Doc, Hudson, Sally, Flo, and Ramone? And the short answer is they aren't out yet. You know, I've been able to get Case F from Carlot Sales. He is literally the only person in the world who has been selling them. He got them from Mattel, and for whatever reason, they just haven't hit stores yet. And that honestly isn't that surprising. Case E, which contains, Deputy McQueen, K McQueen, and Maypillar Derev, just started hitting Walmart stores across the US and in Australia. So hopefully within the next couple weeks here, this case will start to hit stores across the world. And hopefully that 5-pack for the Disney 100 releases, minus Doc, also starts hitting stores as well. But just gotta be patient with it. I know they're going for exorbitant amounts on eBay just because supply and demand, that kind of is a thing. Just wait. They'll be out there, and they might end up being rarer than your typical release. They might be a little bit more like a chase level release, but still, all is well in the world, and they will be available soon enough. But yeah, guys, let's dive right in. Obviously, we have Sally today. This is the second to last one I need to review, the last being Flo. I just decided the order to review them based on my anticipated popularity of them, like how I thought each of them would, how I thought you guys would want to see them really. Like I know McQueen, Doc, those are the most popular, then Mater and Ramone. It gets a little bit more nebulous as you go down the line. Like I could have totally done Sally before Ramone, but I just thought that Ramone's a little bit more iconic and just typically how videos do, historically on my channel, they have done better than Sally and Flo. But who knows, something could get wacky and these might do better in terms of views than the other ones. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we all are familiar with the packaging now. You got the cut off corners, the indented left side here. You got a variety of other Pixar movies here shown on the right side. And on the back you have the other releases in this little sub-series, McQueen, Flo, Ramone, Doc, and Mater. Looking really good. I'm excited to get Sally out of the package. She doesn't look quite as shiny as this picture depicts. Like you could see, looks a little bit more like a flat silver. So we'll see. I hope I like her, but this is one of the ones I was a little bit worried about because I think the blue hood just looks a little off. We'll see though. I'll be right back with her all opened up. All right, here she is out of the box, and we're just gonna jump right in. Obviously, I have a bunch of Sallys I want to compare her to. Most importantly, the super rare factory custom chrome Sally. A lot of people know about the gold chrome one that is very rare now, but even a step above that, before that too, was this chrome one with the painted headlights. So we'll get to that, but we're just going to focus on D100 Sally herself right now. She is the old model Porsche, and by that I mean the original one from 2006 and the one that they obviously carried over to Thailand. Not the corrected model that they did in 2017, late 2017, early 2018 in the Radio Springs Classic line, and in the main line, which is this one right here. It's a narrower model, not as pancaked as your typical Sally, and everyone rejoiced. They finally corrected Sally after 12 years, but then for whatever reason, they reverted back to doing her like this until they did this Sally here last year in the Welcome to Radio Springs series from Vietnam. That is again now reverted back to the advanced version. It's like they, went forward and then they reverted and then now they've reverted back to the better one. It's so weird. It's so complicated. I know. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, they used this one last year for Vietnam. But what I'm trying to say is that the better Sally model is rare. They don't use it often, even though they introduced it within the last few years. They just were like, nah, we don't really like that, I guess. This other one's easier. And so when you see just regular Sally on the pegs from Thailand, like this one right here, it's this pancaked model. It's not the better, narrower model that all of these are in. Even, yeah, the Thailand metallic Sally got done in that. So very strange. Hopefully I explained that well. Probably deserves its own video, but the whole point of that is to say that this Disney 100 Sally is not done in the better model, unfortunately, but kind of to be expected because they have done the other special Sallys lately in the older model, Racing Red and Pixar Fest, which we'll compare her to soon. So yeah, you have the metallic hood here, which looks pretty good. Again, you know, when you have a car like this that doesn't have any decals, you have to kind of figure out what you're going to do metallic. And I think, you know, her and Mater, obviously him having the teal hood, they did a good job. Like, I think it was a good decision. I probably would prefer Mater though. It just looks a little bit more natural on him because the hood on her, it's a little bit more, how do I put this? It's a little bit more acclimated. It's a little bit more integrated in with the rest of her body. Whereas Mater's hood, you know, it's wedged in between the headlights here. Obviously, we've seen him without the hood many, many times. So it's kind of like an extra additional piece. Whereas this, it is just so much more part of her body, like a necessary part that we've never really associated her without it. You know, if that makes any sense. So I don't think it looks quite as good as Mater, but if, you know, I was tasked with this car and figuring out what to make special about her, you know, it's going to be like silver, it's going to be like this metallic white. So then what do you make as her metallic colored component? Like, what do you do? I don't know. Maybe I would have just left her completely white or whatever this color is. That's kind of what we thought initially they were doing because we only saw them in the packaging like this. You couldn't quite see the hood. And so for a while, I thought that's what they did do. I don't know. It's a tough call. Maybe I would have done the... Oh, no, never mind. I don't know. That was a really tough decision. I think Mattel probably went the safest way and made a good call. But yeah, you do still have the Porsche emblem there on the hood, which is raised off the paint. Like, that's not just stamped on. It is part of the body, so that's really cool. I like the expression. It's a little bit better than the typical one, I'd say, because the eyes are a little bit more spread apart. Just looks a little bit more jolly. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. The eyeliner is a little thicker, so that's interesting. Almost does look like the model is different, but it's not. You know what I mean? Just looks almost a little more compact. But yeah, massive black outline around the windshield there, like humongous. And they've been doing that on all these special versions of Sally. So again, nothing to be surprised about. She's got the gray tires, the gray wheels, the gray base. All looks pretty good. Look at this tiny, tiny date stamp. SO4A for the 4th week of 2023. Porsche. She's a Porsche Carrera. Porsche, whatever. You got the gas cap up here. That's pretty cool, you know. To have the gas cap up top. That's because the engine is in her hood, basically, in the front. This back window looks a little weird because it's almost like popping out of the body. You can see this huge crack right here in between the window and the body. I don't know, it just almost looks like a button that you want to press. It just looks pressable, you know, compared to typically everything's very flush. There's no giant crack in between the window and the body. So that looks a little off to me. And again, I know I've complained about this in the past, but seeing just these empty taillights, seeing an empty license plate holder just throws me off a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of that. But again, like I said, if I was tasked with this and, you know, asked what do you do with them, I'd probably come up with the same thing. So I just want to put that out there. Like, this criticism is very, you know, should be taken very lightly because I probably would have done the exact same thing. You know, maybe I would have tried to come up with a better way, like a little bit more of a redesign. I don't know. Maybe I would have not even done this white metallic scheme. Maybe I would have tried to make all of them just simply metallic. That would be kind of cool. Maybe I would have tried to put Disney 100 logos on them. I don't know. I don't think that would have been the way to go. But yeah, pretty good all around. Nothing stellar. I'm pretty much right where I thought I'd be with this Sally. You know, I'm not super high on her, but I'm also not super low on her. So yeah, we're going to do a nice little comparathon here as we always do. This is your regular Thailand Sally. This is the Chinese regular Sally. Much crispier, but not as glossy. I'm telling you, it was really disappointing when they reverted back to this model. I think it was, when was it? Yeah, it was 2018. It was 2018. I think it was like case G or something like that with Andrew Vrooman. They reverted back to Pancake Sally, and everyone was like, what the hell? You tease us with this amazing, I mean, it's a completely different color. It's a way better expression. The headlights look way better. I mean, just everything is superior with this new version of Sally. And then they just were like, nah, nah, we're not doing that. We're going to go back to the old version, guys. I mean, look at the taillights are way more accurate. There's not one thing that this original version of Sally does better than the new version that they introduced. So, again, I have no idea. Really, truly, doesn't make any sense to me, guys. And then they, of course, did this one here with the tattoo up and the elite expression looking off to the side. You guys know I love those types of expressions. I guess the rims are a little weird here because they're completely solid. Should be more like the rims that they did on the regular version, but still overall really cool. I think this one actually kind of came first. It was almost simultaneously released with this version, just kind of around that same time, late 2017, early 2018. And then, yep, so it was kind of weird, you know, they reverted back to the old version, but then, so after they reverted back to it in that 2018 case G with Andrew Vrooman, then they went back to the better model briefly for Metallic Sally here. Again, no rhyme or reason. It just happened to be that way. I think Metallic Sally was one of the later cases in the Desert Horizon line. Yeah, right before Blue Desert started in late... Wait, no. We're talking 2019, guys. I'm sorry. 2019 is when they reverted back to the bad Sally in the case with Andrew Vrooman. Those years really blend together for me just because they use the same mainline packaging. But yeah, this is a 2019 release after they had already reverted back to this one. So hopefully it's all kind of making sense right now. I'm not a huge fan of her expression though, I must say. All right, then what happened? Yeah, we have the Pixar Fest version of her, which is pretty cool. Like, it's basically a Metallic Sally as well, although a completely different take on it, like way darker. And then you have all the decals. I like the blue wheels a lot, in fact. A little bit of a different expression. The eyes are bigger. And of course, in 2021, we had the racing red version of her, which is pretty sweet. I don't think I ever found this car in a store. Actually, you know what? I think I found her at a AutoZone. Yeah, I think I found her at an AutoZone. No. I think I found Racing Red Dynaco Cruz Ramirez at an AutoZone. I never found Sally, unfortunately, in a store. She was in that case with Mafast Fong, Robert Jam Jones, Luis Amigos Ramone, that whole squadron. And yeah, that case was pretty rare for me. I never found her or Joe Don Jackson in a store. I love keeping track of the cars I find and I don't find in stores. You know, so far this year, I believe, obviously a lot of it hasn't even hit stores yet, but I haven't found Noah Gochek, Krusty Roeder. Those are like some of the ones off the top of my head right now. Haven't found anything from Case E. But yeah, then here's your Vietnam version, which came out, much more recently. I love the expression on this one. It's actually one of my favorite versions of Sally. I just think it looks just great overall. Again, it's the better model. It's really smooth paint, super glossy, and the expression's just really good. And yeah, now moving on to the factory customs, we have the gold chrome one that a lot more people are familiar with because for a long period of time, it was super cheap on eBay from China. You could pick one up for like $10 or less. And then all of a sudden, along with the gold chrome Chick Hicks, the gold chrome World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen, and the gold chrome The King. Gone. Now you have to pay $200 for it. Yep, that's basically what happened, and it seemingly happened overnight. Wild stuff. I remember 2016, you could get those cars for $10 or less. The King was always a little bit more because, duh, it's the King. But yeah, the gold chrome Cars 1 Lightning McQueen, no one cares about. I think it's just all a supply thing. You know, the Chinese sellers just simply ran out of the other ones, whereas they had way more of the gold chrome and the silver chrome Cars 1 McQueens. But yeah, here is the uber rare silver chrome of Sally factory custom with the painted headlights and taillights, which I don't love, but yeah, I don't like when they're that color. They should look a little bit more like the gold one here, but there is a gold version, I think, actually, that has them painted red. That's very rare. It's when you get deep into the factory custom lore that exists out there. You know, there's a lot of lore and history to factory customs, most of which kind of goes back to pre-2016, so like 2011 and 12, 13, 14, 15, like right there. They had a lot of super rare factory customs, and they had this whole book. It's basically the Bible. You know, crazy stuff, guys. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, so far, who is your favorite Disney 100th release? Obviously, we have one more to go, and it is Flo. Probably not going to change my opinion that Doc Hudson is the best, followed up by McQueen, followed up by Mater, and yeah, probably followed up by Ramone and then Sally. So far, my anticipated order has turned out to be pretty good, except Doc and McQueen. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon for another one. Bye now.